We're going to start tonight with a decades-old cold case finally being solved. Thanks for joining us. I'm Darren Bobb.
And I'm Alexandra Burnley. Investigators have named the suspect in the 1990 murder of Shauna Garber out of McDonald County, Missouri.
5 News reporter Kayla Davis is live in McDonald County at the courthouse there with what detectives had to say during a news conference today. Kayla?
Darren and Alexandra, the cold case of 22-year-old Shauna Garber has received national interest. At one point, it was speculated the notorious BTK killer, Dennis Rader, was a prime suspect. However, after detectives Lorie and Rhonda Wise gathered evidence over decades, today they announced Garber's killer as Talfey Reeves.
Through statements, sources, witnesses, pounding the ground, and driving people absolutely insane for 30 years, we finally have the answers that we needed.
On Halloween night of 1990, Detective Lorie says Shauna Garber was picked up by Talfey Reeves from the Tanglewood Ginger Blue area off of Missouri State Highway 59. He then hogtied her wrists and feet and took her to an abandoned farmhouse.
He raped her, he bound her, and he overdosed her to shut her up because she was screaming so loudly that it began to scare him in that valley because it echoed.
2 months later, her body parts were found. Detectives Howard and Wise say Reeves had multiple charges dating back to the 80s, including first-degree assault and drug trafficking, among other reasons. They were able to confirm Reeves was the killer through 6 corroborated sources and a witness that came forward.
I can tell you Talfey Reeves was a suspect in this case for years. I just couldn't get anybody to talk to me on the record as an affidavit. I couldn't corroborate their stories until years later, and I had nobody who had the missing piece until he died. And that's how we are here today.
For decades, Garber's identity was unknown due to a lack of DNA evidence. That changed in 2021 when they finally received familial DNA evidence and found her sister, Danielle Pixler.
This lady had a hard luck life. She was set on fire when she was 3 years old by her mom. And after that, she wound up in a foster care situation, and it was a failed adoption.
Pixler spent 30 years searching for Shauna. Despite never knowing her, she says she found closure in learning Reeves was her killer.
I'm happy. Honestly, I didn't know for sure if they were going to find anybody. I was like, man, I'm going to be in heaven before anything, but they never stopped. None of them stopped.
And that work still continues for detectives Howard and Wise. They say they were granted a subpoena to the Kansas Department of Child Services to learn more about Shauna's childhood within the foster system. Live in McDonald County, Missouri. Covering news where you live, Kayla Davis, 5 News.